Hi, Lopihejo. Shalom. Welcome back. I want to thank everyone that watched my last one, and welcome to those that are just coming on, just discovering us. We are Lopihejo. I am Lopihejo. Love, peace, harmony, and joy. And right now, with all the looting and violence going on, do you not see where we need love, peace, harmony, and joy? And we need to be yelling it from the rooftops. Everybody needs to get together and start doing the love, peace, harmony, and joy thing, because right now people are dying over whatever Hasatan does, or actually tempts the people to do, because that's what he does. He tempts. He tries you. He tempts you. And sometimes Yahweh will try you too. But you have to know what the difference is. And in order to do that, in order to have a real close, it just depends on how close you want to be to Yahweh. Oh, well, you can't get that close. Yeah, you can. All you have to do is seek first the kingdom of God, and all these things come to you. And that's exactly what's going on. You seek first the kingdom of God. And how do you do that? How do you even know what the kingdom of God looks like? Well, you know it can't be what's out in the street right now, or going to be in the street, the riots, the looting, the violence. You know that's not it. And when you're addicted to something, if it's not positive, it does something positive for your body, you know that's not it. So how do you get this? How do you find the kingdom of heaven? What are you looking for? And at the same time, how are you knowing that you're even getting there? Well, this is something we face every day. And Yahweh gives us 10 laws that, if you think about it, the normal person on the street doesn't know Yahweh, doesn't know God, doesn't know Jesus. He'll do the last 5, 4. He won't lie, he won't steal, he won't kill anyone, won't murder anyone. He'll at least do 3 of them. He won't cheat on his wife because he loves her. He has all that, but what about the other 5? He honors his mom and dad. There you go, there's 5. But what about the others? What about making Yahweh first? What about honoring the Shabbat and keeping it holy? And how do you know when the Shabbat is? Because does it really matter? Well, it says so in Torah. Don't say the Lord's name in vain. Say it with respect and honor. Say it with joy, with love, with peace, with harmony. Honor it. And make sure that there is only one Yahweh. And honor the Shabbat and keep it holy. So those seeking the kingdom of God are doing the first 4. They're seeking the kingdom of God. And you know what they're finding? They're finding this peace that passeth all understanding. And they're finding, the peace that passes all understanding. They're finding love, peace, harmony, and joy. They're finding all these really, really wonderful things if they just step back and take a breath. I know there's sometimes, because things get so uptight with, say, my daughter. You know, I'll go over there, and he's uptight, and she's uptight, and she has to go to work, and, you know, she's a temporary single mom. That's when your husband, your fiance, leaves you with the kids, and they go out and they make the money. Okay, so there's a certain time where they are actually single moms. God bless them, because that's not easy. So I go over and I take care of my grandson, but you know what we have to do? We have to take a couple of deep breaths. We have to step back. We have to lower our tone of voice. We have to calm things down in the room, because things have been pretty hectic all day. So when I come in, I still have maybe some science or some reading he has to do. I have a guitar lesson to give him. So what I do is we just practice taking some deep breaths and calming our nerves down, and just start thinking about good things and calming it down. And really, what's going on out there, besides the fact there's just, I'm not even going to get into it, it's too political. But what's going on out there, that's what they all need to do. Step back, take a breath. Most of them really don't care about the other person that they're looting from. They're selfish. But still, you can still take a step back. Right now, this very minute is when we need the love, the peace, the harmony, the joy. We need that. And we need to start yelling it from the mountaintops. Lo Pihejo. Because it's insanity out there. But even though there's storms outside, if you have Yeshua on the inside, you are filled with that peace that passeth all understanding. It's so hard to explain. You know you're supposed to be all upset and uptight, but you just know that you know that you know that it's all going to be okay, because Yahweh is in control. No matter what happens, you know that Yahweh is in control. And that's something we really, really have to remember right now. Yahweh is in control. He knows that he knows that he knows that it all's going to work out for the good, for the glory of him. It's not all about us, folks. We just finished, speaking of which, we just finished Shavuot, celebrating that. And, you know, the Pentecost and the Holy Spirit coming down is when the Torah came down from the Mount Sinai, and all of that happened. And it's such a wonderful, if you really get into the spiritual realm of it, it is really an amazing time, because you get to reflect on what they did back in antiquity. We get to see what happened in the upper room. It's all that kind of pretty much is the same thing, because nothing's new under the sun. Just because it's called the New Testament does not mean there's any bit of it that wasn't done in the Old Testament. So, you know, the Tanakh, the Old Testament, is a foreshadowing of the Brit Hadashah, the New Testament. But this time, we have Yahweh in a skin suit. And he's walking around with us, walking on the ground, running into people, showing the love of God, showing Lo Pihejo, showing love, peace, harmony, and joy. How do you do these 10 commandments, and there's 613, but understand that those aren't all for everybody. Some are for the Kohanim, which we don't have right well. We don't have a temple right now. But some of those are for women, some of those are for men. So not all the 613 are yours, are for everybody. Just to let you know. But we're just having trouble with the first 10. But anyway, so I wrote out the Book of Ruth, which is just an amazing story. It's they try to make it into the movies, have tried to make it into such a romance movie, and in a weird way it is. Okay, but we're talking about women that are actually considered property back then. Praise God, we're not like that anymore. But, although some people think we should be, I guess, in other countries, but not, no. Women, real women, belong to Yahweh, belong to our children of our princesses of Yahweh. Anyway, and so she wanted to be with Boaz, but Boaz had to redeem her, and it turned out he had to go to somebody else to redeem her. She had to be given because she belonged to someone else. As it all turns out, Boaz winds up with her, and she's the greatest convert through the whole thing, pretty much, because she stayed with Ruth. Or Ruth stayed with Naomi the whole way. My God is your God. My land is your land. Your land is my land. Your God is my God. Without hesitation. That's a strong woman that can go into land that she hardly knows anything about. She's a Moab. She's a Moabitess, and she has no idea what she's, a little bit maybe, but so she goes. And she runs into Boaz, and Ruth helps her try to get Boaz, and Boaz winds up interested, and then he has to go to somebody else because the Moabitess belongs to somebody else. And so in a way, it's not really a love story, even though they wind up together, and that's because of Ruth and Boaz getting together starts the whole trail for Yeshua when he was born. All these things had to happen to make way for Yahweh, for Yeshua to be born. And if you think about it, Yeshua means salvation, which it does. So anyway, that was the story that they celebrate every year at Shavuot. Is the story of Ruth, and it's a convert story. Anybody can come into knowing Yeshua, knowing Jesus, knowing who he is and how great he is and how amazing he is and how that he is the reason why there is a Torah. He is the reason, the Torah is the reason why he is the reason why Torah is. Yahweh is the Torah. We're talking about the Old Testament, we're talking about the Brit Hadashah, the New Testament. It's all something to be celebrating and loving and showing others. There is this really cool thing going around on Facebook. I was just thinking about this, about racking. Random acts of kindness, yes? How you can go out and help the neighbors that you don't know. What it is a group, and some of them give baskets of wine, or, whatever, coffees, whatever. And it's a little care package. And if your name comes up on, if somebody gets your name, then you give them a care package. And then they are give it to somebody else, and they give it to somebody else. And I think that is just the coolest thing. And I was thinking, if a church or if a synagogue would want to do something like that, it would be a very cool thing just to do random acts of kindness. I remember when in high school, if it was your birthday, my friends would come over and they'd get you out of bed. They'd tell the parents first, and then they'd take them out to breakfast in their PJs and everything, and make a whole big thing of it for their birthday. And whoever's birthday was, maybe that's where I picked up the racking, because that was just a very nice thing to do for somebody on their birthday. And we did it for everybody in the group. And I think something like this would really be good in the churches and the synagogues, showing ways of racking. Just make up a care package in a basket, give it to somebody else. When they get that, then they have to give it to somebody else. And when they get that, they have to give it to somebody else. And see how far it gets. It is really an amazing thing. So maybe try. Bring it up in your groups. Bring it up. But anything beats what's going on out there. Let's come up with positive, racking ways of taking care of each other. I was so impressed with some of the videos I saw where the store owners were getting together and protecting their businesses and their neighbors' businesses, and they were taking over their block. They were not allowing what was going on to happen. And, sometimes that's what it takes. We have to take matters into our hands with the promise of God's protection. But those of us, like, I don't work unless my daughter works, and Jeff isn't home to watch the kids. So I am just basically at home right now, taking care of my wonderful husband, because we need prayers for him. He has prostate issues. But anyway, I pray for him every day. I pray for my children every day. I pray every day. Get into a praying, a habit of praying in the morning, at night. Be the prayer. Go out and be a prayer. That's what racking is all about. Going out and being the prayer. Be the miracle. Be the blessing. Be the love, peace, harmony, and joy. That's what we need. And this is things we need to be practicing. I wrote out, speaking of which, as I said, all of the book of Ruth. There's only 4 chapters, so it wasn't a real big deal. And now I'm going to get back into my writing Torah again. When you write a chapter a day, whatever chapter you want to write a chapter a day, and start from there until you make it through the whole thing. 1 chapter a day. And if it takes a couple days to write out a chapter, because some of those chapters are very long, then it takes a couple of chapters. Just do it a couple of verses at a time, 4 or 5. Don't put yourself on a time slot. Don't say, well, I have to have this done at this certain time. I have to keep up with these people. Just do it on your own time, and just make sure you do it every day. Writing out Torah, racking, spreading love, peace, harmony, and joy. Please, people, we need this. We need love, we need peace, we need harmony, and we need to be joyous. because we are victors in Yeshua. We are always victors in Yeshua, and every day is a blessing. You wake up. You thank God for the roof over your head, the floor under your feet, the clothes on your back, the food in your stomach, the food in the fridge. You thank God for the money in the bank and His caring, and all of the luxuries. Oh, we are just surrounded in the luxuries that God has given us. And it's all come from Yahweh. It has all come from God. So, do all this, please, this week. Spread this out. Share this everywhere. Because it's an important message. And so share, like, comment down below. Whatever you want to do. And today, of course, we're going to bring up the things that our show is brought by. It Works, Hair, Skin, and Nails. Gotta tell ya, this stuff really is good. It'll thicken out your hair. It makes it all nice and shiny. Helps it grow a little longer. That's, for me, that's important. Then we have the brand spanking new ThermoFight XX. It's a thermogenic weight loss. And it's Next Gen Fat Burn 2.0. They've improved Thermo X, and now it's Thermo XX. So this is really supposed to speed up your weight loss. And the super greens. This is the chocolate. Love the chocolate. If you guys are interested in any of these products, I do this with the collagen once a day. And they are really good. I'm never really hungry all that much in the morning. So I do this, and then I do my Skinny Brew. The coffee that helps you lose weight. So if you need to lose a few pounds, we got everything we need. Just email me at lopehajo, LOPEHAJO, at AOL.com, or text me. I'm on Facebook. Also, everybody's invited to my Lopehajo group, Facebook group. And we put all kinds of, we put prayers on there if you need prayer. If you need prayer at all for any reason, email me, lopehajo at LOPEHAJO.com at AOL.com. That's my my email. If you have comments, if you need prayer, put it on. You can even put it on the Lopehajo Facebook page. So that's it for now. Pick you up some It Works, and I will see you next week. Lopehajo, shalom.